Welcome back, guys, to the Hunter Collective. I've got James in my chair today, and we are going to be looking at keeping quite a lot of length on the top. So we had a consultation beforehand and we discussed that we want to try and maintain a bit of length through the corners here, because we want to try and keep a lot of length through the top. But I've noticed from his previous haircuts, it's been cut into a side part, so you've got quite a big disconnection here, so we will have to remove some length from there. But I might try and maintain as much length on the top, but then again, keep it nice and tight around the edges. We don't want to lose, again, too much through here, so I'm probably going to be focused on more of a kind of keeping not too much scalp exposure around the bottom, so I don't want to make it look too top heavy. Another good thing as well is at the back here, James got a double crown. So as you can see, he's got a crown there and a crown there. Now that, usually if you cut it too short, will just spike up, because it will almost feed into itself. So if you've got a single crown, most people do, it kind of will start at the right, left, or the middle, but it'll go around and it'll kind of control the way the hair wants to flow. With a double crown, it kind of does the opposite of that. It kind of almost ruins the natural flow of the hair in some ways. So with the back, he might not necessarily be able to pull off a side part as well as what I might be able to, because one crown's forcing itself one way and the other crown's forcing itself the other way. So I think what the look we're going to do for James today is probably a perfect one for a double crown. Try and stay away from anything that's too parted or even brushed back, because it will fight against it. Just go for something a bit more natural, a bit more textured, a bit more messy, and that will help to kind of naturally control the crown, so it won't be sticking up in either direction. Let it fall where it wants to fall. So I'm going to maintain as much length on the top. I'm going to bring the back and sides down. I'm going to focus purely on the back and sides to start with, because I want to try and maintain as much of this as I can. So I'm probably going to take it down to maybe like a low, very low 1.5 around the edges, but we're going to try and not see too much scalp on this hair, but like obviously a contrast to the last haircuts we've done together. So you can see what we're doing here now, starting to create that weight. So I've literally just tied it up, this bit here. I'm going to refine it a bit more, but I've pretty much just tied this up and then just use my own judgment on how short the back and sides down the very edges need to go. And I think if we're trying to build this weight here to maintain top, it's starting to sit quite nice. So I'm going to use a smaller comb to refine with the mini clippers to really sharpen the edges off and taper that neck a bit tighter. But I think I felt like it was better to do this freehand with clipper over comb than to just put a guard on. I don't think it'll be, you get the same effect, so that's why I thought I'd do this for you. So that is pretty much my back and side. I'm going to refine it more once I've done the top, because I want to see how the sides start to blend in here. So what I'm going to do now, I'll check through the top, see how it's sitting, check the length, and just from the consultation anyway, I know this side is going to be longer as it was cut into a side part last time. And it seems to be quite high on the side. You can see it's still quite short in the same part. Obviously it's quite long here, but this side's quite short. So take that into account, and the crown's a little bit shorter. So we're going to try and balance this all out. So we try and maintain as much on the top but still make it look good for this look as well, what we're going for. So try and get rid of that side part. So what I always do in anything like this, I tend to start from the front and work back because it's a double crown. So I always want to try and maintain a little bit more length through the back here, it just doesn't spike up. So I start from the front and I pick it up and find the common length throughout this haircut and then cut it to that. So trying to maintain as much length as I possibly can. So this haircut's good for anyone who's growing out of the side part. You know, so you fancy a bit of a change, you've had a side part for so long. Just remember just to, if you want to kind of grow out a side part, give yourself a good six to 8 weeks from your last haircut, just so that your barber's got enough time to blend this corner in. Otherwise, if it's 2-3 weeks old, trying to connect this into here, it's going to take too much length off. Whereas we get enough length here that I can disguise the side part. But try and give yourself that, maybe go that extra couple of weeks over your regular time of a haircut to change this style up a little bit, especially if you've had a side part or anything quite severe. Now, as you can see, there's not much going on through this. It's got a lot of texture, as you can see from here, but I want to try and create a little more movement. I want to try and break up the fringe. So, as you know, in the past, I don't tend to really use texturizing scissors too much. I tend to try and manipulate it myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this fringe apart, and I'm going to start maybe about 1 inch from the fringe, but quite messy sections. I don't want it to be too perfect. I want this to be quite a very natural finish. So I'm going to pick this up and add a little bit of root lift. So root lift is from halfway through the hair. So if you think of this being what, a couple of inches long, you pick it up just below the halfway point and then slide through. What that'll do is, that short hair that we've cut it to there, which you can see if I put my finger down, that will help this longer hair stand up, because generally when the hair's shorter, it grows upwards until a point and it drops down. So that's how you get root lift. As you can see, just with a bit of water, that's standing up. Just couple through. So imagine with product in that, it's definitely going to stay up. So again, this haircut has been tailored to James. Freehand clipper back and sides, picking the length through the top, texturizing where I want it to be. I think by tailoring this to your client or to whoever is in your chair, I just find that you're going to get the best out of what you're trying to achieve, more than just doing generic styling or generic like texturizing, whatever. I think James will see a benefit from this in 4 weeks' time as well. Back and sides as well, so it doesn't look too clippered. So I'm going to do it forwards now, because I want this to collapse a bit towards the crown. I don't want it to stand up too much, so I'm forcing it forward. And as simple as that, really. What we'll do, we'll style this through. And I'll give you a few options of how to blow dry it, how to create a little bit of movement in there, and what to finish off with product-wise as well. And there's a little bit, I always love using a texture like a salt spray or a texture spray. I just find it creates that real nice base when you're drying the hair off. And you know, this is generally used out the shower, towel dried hair. Just literally run your fingers through it, a bit of spray around, run your fingers through it, and then you could either let it dry naturally if you've got time, or you can manipulate it with heat, so a hairdryer. So what I would do with this is I would do generally finger drying, because I want it to look quite natural, especially there isn't much length of the crown, so I want to let that sit as naturally as possible. But then through the front, I'm just going to use a vent brush just to create a little bit of wave through it. So I want a lot of heat, a lot of air to come through this, but I don't want it to be too overly pumped or too overly kind of curled. I want a lot of the air to get through it and just break up this natural texture. So high heat, medium speed, and just scrunch that hair through my fingers just to create that movement through the back. And let's see that natural texture come through. I'm just scrunching the hair so they break that up. So I always say products should just enhance what you've done. You shouldn't really create it, unless you're using like a pomade for a very slick haircut. Anything else, the haircut should really show off, and the product should just enhance what you've done. Now, to work this through, wrap it around the brush a little bit, but I want it to really show off that natural movement in James's hair. So I use the vent brush, a lot more hair is getting through it. It's not going to be rounded off, no rolling of the brush or anything like that. Using this just to create a little bit of height and let that natural sort of movement come through. So what I would generally use in this is either a paste or a clay. I'd stay away from anything that's overly heavily wet, so I'd say like a pomade or a wax or something like that. If you look at James's hair, he's got loads of natural colours through it. So he's got a little bit of blonde coming through there, lighter brown, darker brown. The back and sides are a bit darker than here. If I put a wet product on, it's going to change these colours completely. So it'll make it look a bit greasy through the fringe, might make it a little bit darker through the back. So I'm going to look for something very, very dry, very matte. So I'd probably say I might use your clay today. I know I generally use it on everything, but for this haircut, it's especially the best one for it. So, again, not too much. Because we've used what I call a base product, like a salt spray or a texture spray, we don't need a lot because the haircut's cut the way I've cut it. Really. It's going to style the way I've cut it, so we don't need a lot of product to overly style it anyway to bring the shape of the haircut out. So just a little bit of clay. Now, more than rubbing it through like a shampoo, I'm just going to scrunch this in because I really want to show off that movement. So we'll start the fringe, way to the back, and then just kind of pick at the bits that I want to style because it's got the texture salt spray in there. You don't really need to overly style it or overly use a product, especially the finishing product. Just make sure you rub it, especially when there's a bit of length through the back and sides. Make sure you rub it through the back and sides as well, because you want it to coat it all, so it's all got the same colour, almost. I'm still working through to the back here, but the main focus for me, because we've added a salt spray to it, is that it's already got product in it, and this is so matte. You're only focusing just really around this bit, because the texture salt spray will create that movement. This is just like an enhancement to keep this fringe up, really. So you can work from the back if you want, but my main focus today was just getting a little bit more extra product into this, especially towards the fringe. You could have just let the salt spray do it, a little bit of heat would have probably held it all day, but I just wanted to enhance it a touch more. And that's it, finished. How's that look for you?
Yeah, it's good, I like it.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice on that.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, really nice.
So I've just tapered it down, and again, just freehand. I just tried to use kind of my own judging my own eye really to see which bits needed to go a bit shorter. I think felt like if we'd have put a clipper on especially around the bottom of your back and sides, it would have thinned out quite a lot because it seemed to get a little bit sparse down the bottom. So I want to try and keep as much fullness in that, and then just taper in the sides and the neck, so it kind of stays all the same colour, if you say. You know?
Yeah, it's nice and top there.
All right, yeah.
That's good. I didn't realise I had a double crown actually.
Didn't you?
No, anyway.
Yep.
That's something new every day.
Every day's a school day. Yeah, just here and here. So it's not massive. So I've had some clients that literally the either side of the head, which is just a nightmare. But yours isn't too bad, especially for a look like this. You'd never be able to tell. But again, if you were partner, you'd be able to notice it, probably stand up more because you're forcing this hair over your other crown, which doesn't want to go that way. Sure. So that's why it tends to poke up, unless you leave loads of length in it. But we're not looking to do that today. So, are you happy?
That's great.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, it's good.
What I would do is I would either ask for, if say you want to use a clipper guard, for example. Say you haven't got the luxury of time, busy shop, 3 hour wait. I'd probably say maybe like a 4 back and sides, and then just a very low taper. If you've got time and you want to say use a scissors, you can use maybe a scissor cut back and sides. This is almost like just before scalp exposure, so again, it's working out what length you would go to on his hair that would start showing scalp. So I've left this with enough hair to cover any problem areas, especially through the back and sides here. So yeah, it's probably about maybe, I don't know, a centimetre in length maybe, I'd say, back and sides. And then the top, it was more just kind of creating a bit of a new look for James, really, because he'd had a sidebar. I mean, he'd had it for quite a while.
Yeah, a long time, yeah.
So, you know, it was just nice to kind of showcase him something else he can do with his hair, than just a sort of a bog standard sidebar. Because he's got such good hair, and there's so much movement you create in this. I think tailoring something to somebody who might not necessarily want to spend an extra 20 minutes on the hair, find something that works for them. Look at the hair texture, look at the way it curls, look at the way the crown is, look at the way the sides are, how square is his head. You know, use all these to then tailor something for him. And the thing is with this haircut as well, super easy to style in the morning, and it'll grow out well as well, because there's no disconnections going through this really, so it'll grow out really well in uniform. So yeah, I just thought it was quite nice to do something that was a bit more tailored to you, a little bit maybe not as on trend, but something that works for you. And I think if you're confident with this haircut, you'll be on trend. You know what I mean? You'll be looking more confident, feeling more confident. So I think sometimes you can stay away from the trendy haircuts to still feel your best, you know.